We're back with the Bionicle Inspiration series, the show that spotlights Bionicle mocks from across the Bionicle community with the intention of inspiring you. And today's episode is all about final bosses, or cool-looking knights, evil death lords, villains, that kind of thing. The sort of stuff that's inspired by video games like Dark Souls or Elden Ring. We've got some absolute bangers in today's episode, so strap yourselves in and get ready. Our first mock is called Flame Guard, and this is built by Woomy World. Oh, I just love the aesthetic on this. All the wonderful shaping on the armor, it just looks phenomenal. And how good does dark blue mixed in with a little bit of trans blue, how good does that look alongside the silver? It's so distinct and so hauntingly beautiful. I really like how this sword is using one of the blade pieces that comes in a variety of different colours in LEGO Dreams sets. You can see them here hanging from this treehouse set. Now, one interesting thing about this piece that's a little bit harder to see in this image, but if we look at this, you can just see it on the edge of the sword. This piece is a little bit marbled. It's almost got a little bit of white going through it. I don't know if strictly speaking that is white, I'm not actually sure what colour that is. But still, there's a little bit of variance to this piece. And that marbled effect, it gives this flaming sword a bit of a magical and ethereal quality. It's quite sensational. And then we can see more blue fire coming out of their hand and their helmet. This somewhat strange LEGO piece, it creates this very wavy and mythical fire effect. If you want to pick this piece up, it originally came in this Water Dragon set from Ninjago. You can see that Nia has this piece on her legs, and it's kind of like a representation of her water powers. So what a sick idea to use this for some kind of mythical looking blue fire. Such a fantastic part use. And speaking of fantastic part usage, the way that some of these silver skull spider pieces are being used for the breastplate, incredible. This is just such a good mock. Now we move over to a similar villain that has more magical flames and powers. This is Ataka the Mad King. Certainly a different take on this very iconic Bionicle character. Now, I want to talk about this wonderful face design. The amazing crown on the top, the little slight hint of evil eyes poking through the gaps in this helmet. All that kind of stuff, it's just dripping with evil. Now, you might notice some of these gunmetal weapon pieces that help shape the edges of this helmet. What are these pieces? Well, in gunmetal they came in this Lord of the Rings pirate ship set. Although it's a little hard to see them in this image, so another set that they came in silver was another Lord of the Rings set. It's this Uruk-hai battle pack. You can see them just here. Yeah, this piece has such a brilliant shape to it. The curves, the ebbs and the flows of the blade. Using it in mocks creates such an exceptional look. I can't really think of any mocks that use this piece that don't look awesome. I mean, actually, Woomy World's mock was also using these pieces. So hey, if you don't own this piece, I highly recommend picking it up. Look at all the cool stuff you can do with it. Man, there's something so beautiful about the simplicity of this mock. Simple but elegant looking gunmetal armor, and then a contrasting color with this trans green, using that for some kind of magical ghost arm. It's a great look. Or even tiny little details like this black minifigure skull embedded in the torso, making it look like some spirit is possessing this armor. Dude, this mock has it all. Now, let's talk about Bone Lord by Ray Lee. I love this torso and spine design. The way it curves is really impressive. It's also quite a nice idea to use this gunmetal ribcage piece, the one that we see on the waist. This is the same one that appears on the General Grievous Ultra Build set. But yeah, this piece very neatly transitions into some of these gunmetal robot arm pieces. The same element that was used as fingers on a set like Hydraxon. It's always fascinating to see totally different pieces beautifully transitioning into one another. It looks really good. And then we've got this head design. Got another one of those skull spider pieces being used. But the lower jaw here, this is the mask that comes on Bulk 3.0. This wonderful set. Placing it upside down like this, That's a pretty good jaw design, and it complements this skull spider mask perfectly. Nice thinking. This next one is called Ogoroth, Ruler of the Underworld by Lego David. I love a good gold and black colour scheme. Something so nice about that. I also love a nice tattered cape as well. Sensational. But take a look at this mask. It's using the Scarox mask that came on this Brain Attack set. In this context, it makes for a really cool evil villain helmet. You know, I feel like this piece doesn't really get that much love these days. But it's a really good looking piece. You can do cool stuff like this with it. And I think this looks even better when you pair it with a skull spider mask in gold. This very neatly fills in the gap that's left at the top of this mask. What an amazing combination of pieces. You see, that's the thing about a lot of these Brain Attack masks. A lot of them had a big old gap at the top of the head because the brain slug needed to be put inside. And who would have thought that the skull spider mask would beautifully fill up that gap? And that's not it for using masks in very clever ways other than as a mask. We can see that the torso uses these Rocker 3.0 helmet pieces for shoulder armor. That looks really nice. The torso also uses some of these Pahatu G2 gold masks for a little bit more detail. And then we've got even more G2 masks down here on the knee pads. These are of course Tahu's masks. See, that's the thing, man. Masks are always going to look good as masks. That's what the piece was designed for. But yeah, maybe next time you build a mock, try using those pieces for armor details like we see here. They often look really good when you use them for body detailing. Something to think about. And then let's finish off with Targray, the Iron Sultan by Eclipse Caller. It's always a pleasure to see Knights Kingdom pieces being used in Bionicle mocks. The shoulder armor and the helmet here, these of course come in this Knights Kingdom set. So if you're looking to build something, kind of knight-like, like we've been seeing in this episode, it's kind of a no-brainer to use some Knights Kingdom pieces. I mean, all the different construction sets for Knights Kingdom had an incredible array of pieces. And thankfully a lot of these sets are still fairly affordable, so I highly recommend going and getting some. I definitely think the helmet and the armor is one of the highlights of this mock, but I really like the inclusion of some minifigure chain pieces on the torso. There's something nice about the inclusion of that. I don't know what it is. It just sells the mock for me. It rounds it off in such a great way. Sometimes the tiniest little details like this are the best thing you can add. Yeah, Eclipse Caller actually builds a lot of different mocks within this style, so if you're in need of further inspiration, go and check out their social media. There'll be plenty more incredible stuff for you to look at right there. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into knights, death lords, and other sinister looking dudes. And if you liked what you saw today, be sure to take a look at the links in the description below. You can find each of these builders' social media right there. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.